Namaste! Welcome everyone to this channel. It is a great joy to be sharing. I've been looking forward to this all day, to be together every week on this channel at this time. We connect into the Supreme Light meditation, and usually we'll do a little sharing before, something that could be like in the now. It could be something that is valuable, perhaps, to contemplate a little deeper before we go into the meditation. And today, there's been a great, what you could say, a wish, a strong intention from the heart to share something. I work as a therapist for the past 20 years and travel the world and having courses and big groups and small groups and individuals, and there's so many things and techniques and so forth, but there's really only one thing that we need to know, and this is what I want to put focus on here today, especially when our world is changing so rapidly. What many of us have been sharing about for years, that there will be a big change and shift in our world. Well, it's happening now. The world is going inside. And there are gifts in this situation. And there are gifts in every challenge that we have in life. We all want to excel, and we want to move into that shift in consciousness, to move into a higher awareness. But to get there, it is the very fact that there is a challenge. And when there is a challenge that is collective, then it's really a tremendous opportunity for a huge leap in consciousness, for the human collective consciousness, all of us together. If it's just one person going through something, then there is a tremendous opportunity for that person. If you understand the laws of consciousness, the laws of living life in a happy, fulfilling way, where you don't need to read a lot of books, follow a lot of steps, this and that, even though that's nice too. It's just that it's really the simplicity of life I want to share with you now, because it is like a formula, like a mathematical formula that is perfect, that is carrying all the wisdom in it. And it's so simple that the mind just oversees it so quick, thinking, no, it must be more. I was like that when I first discovered this 18 years ago now. I was sure that there must be more. And I used to follow the teacher who shared this with me. I used to follow him around to see if he said something else. There must be something else. I'm too intellectual for this. It just can't be like this. I read so many books. I'm a seeker. I was, until I discovered this presence. So this is what I'm passionate about. And this is what I'm going to share with you about. Since you are tuning into this channel, you have to hear this. No matter how many books you read, how many courses you take, and how many wise people you're listening to, everything that you're looking for is right under your nose. Literally. So what's under the nose? I think the heart. So the cool thing about discovering this is that we each discover this in our own way. And it's may be difficult because people want everyone to be the same. Like we should all be going into the law of the same, or living in sameness. Sameness for all. No, we don't want that. We are sovereign, unique beings, all of us, isn't it? This is the mystical part of this wisdom of higher laws of consciousness. To understand that just like you and I, we are unique individuals. We each view the world and ourselves and our reality in our own unique way, completely unique. Nobody could ever go into somebody else and trying to view it like that, to see it fully. It's so complex that it's hands off trying to understand. So the universe made it a different way for us to explore this law of one, the oneness consciousness. So there is a doorway, there is a pathway, an opening, a portal inside us, each and every one. We just need to look within. And that's what this channel, especially at this time, but any time for that, is dedicated to this process. For you to discover that for yourself. And you will see as you journey into this, that this presence inside you is just as unique as you are. Just like you have a sense of a being unique, like you're a person here, you have personalities, you're a person, right? So let's not make it complicated. So the presence inside the heart is also like that. You can relate to it like that. And this divine presence, it shows up for each and every one of us. We relate to it. That's what we can say. It's the greatest, by far, the greatest relationship we will ever have. So it's not like you read a book and you understand, or like what is God, what is divine, what is consciousness, and you're trying to figure it out through quantum physics or this and that and this master or guru. And no, it needs to happen from inside you. Otherwise, it's no use. You can read all the books and follow all the masters, but it needs to be your own experience. So this channel is dedicated to that, to come into an alignment with the vision you have. You, inside, what is your vision? What do you want? What do you wish for? Because that is what your divine presence, you can call it whatever you like, that presence loves you more than you can understand, more than you can grasp. And there is this formula now that once you learn from your own experience that there is this presence inside you, you can experience it like a flow where things are just going your way, like you're painting and it just seems like the painting is just happening. Or you're a musician and you're playing the music and it's just, wow, it's just happening. It's bigger than you. Something flowing, the intuition and knowingness. You know that. It's an experience of kindness, of love and compassion, of gratitude. All these qualities, we know them all very well. And when we are in that flow, there is no room for anything else. It's just something that is moving and flowing, and that we can relate to as a friend, as an inner best friend, the divine that has many aspects. You can see it like a diamond with many different aspects, like shimmering. So this divine, your personal connection to it, it can show up in different aspects. And that's what we have, something called sacred sounds mantras. They're all calling upon the divine, but in a different, like in a different form, like kindness God or gratitude God or so forth. In the Sanskrit language, there are about 3,000 different names for what we in the English language say divine or God or superconscious. We can have a few words like that, a greater intelligence that connects us all. We need to explain it like that. But see, the cool thing about the Sanskrit language I have found is that when you chant it, when you call upon it, just repeating the mantra, that can help you. When I want to speak to you, oh, that is so strange. I'm sorry. Oh. I think somebody was calling here. It's actually very funny because it is both way. So we are calling on the divine, and the divine can call us, sometimes on the phone. And singing a mantra or listening to a mantra can get us into alignment, get us on the line. There are many such mantras, and this is my passion. I just wanted to share the simplicity, that it doesn't have to be very complicated. I got myself into a complicated intellectual understanding for some time in my spiritual journey, looking for the truth. Can somebody please tell me the truth? Well, until I received the divine intervention, it was actually like that. God's calling me. Hello, need to tell you something. It wasn't like that. It was actually more majestic. It was a thunderous voice that was coming from both outside the whole universe and inside the very core of my being. And it said, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to meet your inner suffering. Don't be afraid to meet your inner suffering. And as this voice was penetrating every cell in my body, at the same time I was also introduced to my most suffering I could imagine, and all the psychological suffering, you name it. So I saw this psychological suffering is what gave me the incentive to seek a solution, to find somebody who could help me out of this suffering that was, a lot of it was existential. There was not even any reason for it. I could work myself through it, but some of it is still, something is there all the time. Problems. So this teaching that came from this presence inside set me off on a journey. And this is the journey I want to encourage you to seek for yourself. To be free of suffering. And this could be any kind of suffering now we speak of that is holding you back, spiritual or psychological. We need to be able to confront it or just be with it, see it, right? I will go very deep into this process. I know that you can come here and take processes. I dedicated my past 18 years to this because I was guided like this and I'm doing it, right? So I want to guide and help people. But now nobody travels in the world, so I'm having online courses. And I want to welcome you to that as well. It's called See to Be Free. And it's based on my own experience. I know this works. And I want to take you on that journey. I welcome you. It's this Sunday if you want to tune into it. It's the simple formula, but we have got our mind complicated. So you'll be guided into how to come into alignment with that presence, where you can be free in seeing all of that which we call suffering. So this is the alchemy of consciousness. You know, alchemy is something that transforms. So there were two words that I woke up with this morning that goes into this. It flows. And I'm hoping that I can throw it into you, anchor it in. It is to have a vision for what you would like to have in your life. And it should be a vision that just gives so much joy, peace, happiness, something good, something that is good for you and for the world. When we do prayer for someone, or we do meditation, or the Supreme Light meditation we're going to do soon, it's nice to set an intention in your heart. And you can do this every day. Is there someone that you feel you want to help? You can see that person, have the vision of how that person would be happy. So that is the intention. Now comes the formula. To also see that which is the suffering in you, to be aware of that, and not, here comes the important part, don't reject it or resist it. You know, the vision that you have, it's magnificent, it's majestic, it carries power. And this is the vision you come to your presence in the heart. You can also be aware that this is happening, whatever it is. But you're not doing anything about it. You're passive about that. And then you connect into that supreme light inside. If you have sacred objects, do you have that? You have a sacred object. Maybe you're Christian, you have a Bible, that's a sacred object. Or maybe you have something else that is a sacred object. If this is hard for you to do, you can put your hands on the sacred object. And you can just say, I anchor into you now, my divine. This is my vision. This is what I wish for. And thank you. And you're simply just aware of the landscape inside you. Not resisting whatever is there. Because that bond, that alignment is like a rope between you and the divine. Divine says, I'll take care of it. It's the most beautiful thing you can ever experience. And that's why it's so important that we are aware of the suffering. You understand? Otherwise, it just becomes something like intellectual. We need to be aware, because if we are aware of this, whatever it is that is bothering us or the world, be aware of it and just hook into, put your hands on the divine or put your hands on your heart. Just know there is a powerful presence that is like your best friend that can help you. And believe me, once you got yourself in there, you never will want to let go. You just hold on. You said, okay, I'm going for a ride. And I will never let you go. And I can face anything in this world. If you're just with me, I'm with you. And the divine, that supreme light, the presence inside of you, somehow, it works it out. I'm telling you, it works out. I don't know how. That's what we call it, mystical, magical, wondrous, in awe. You're like, how did this happen? We say it's a miracle. So these two things go together, my friend. You need to be aware that there's something that you need help with. That suffering is actually your ticket. It's something wonderful that can happen. And the surrender will come into that presence of the divine when you see that you need it. When you have explored trying to do it by yourself, you're trying to follow all this, doing this and that, and reading these books and going to this course, and I'm a seeker. Well, how long are you going to be a seeker? Yeah. It's like looking for the hat that's already on your head. So let's just relax, because this is something I learned. When we relax about whatever it is that is there bothering us, we call it suffering or whatever it is, it's there, isn't it? That's the truth. You looking for the truth? Well, it's right there. We're suffering. The suffering. Yes, it's there. What can you do? It's a fact. Huh? And relax. Because that is step 2. If there is a step 2. You hold on to your heart, to the presence inside you. You build that relationship. You go, this is where the alchemy happens. It happens inside of you. And it's a journey that keeps going like that. And as you move into the door of awakening into that we are all one, not the same, but we are one, then this mystical thing starts happening where you feel you are connected to the other. You and the other are one. You are another one. Like the Mayan Indians said when they greeted each other in Lakesh, I am another you. I am another you. That's what they said when they greeted each other. We are on our way collectively into that consciousness now, where we learn to surrender into that law of the one. We're not the same, but we are one. And each one is a sovereign, unique being and has full right to relate to that presence in our own way. And when enough people connect into that presence of the one, relating to it in our own personal way, discovering this alchemy of consciousness, this transformation that can happen inside of us, when enough people have moved through that doorway, we start affecting the human consciousness, so that this what we're sharing here, which is so simple, but perhaps it's not something that everyone is able to do. It's enough a little part of the population is doing that, just living that. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to meet any suffering or any challenges. If is there a problem in your life? Yeah? Let's go head on and meet it. Like a bull going for the red thing. We're not running away from it. We're going, I'm going there. Why? Because I have my best friend with me. My divine, my personal connection. That's how you get faith. We have talked about that earlier. But once you have tried it, you don't have to go for a bull in a bullfight. That's a horrible thing anyway. Just take a small challenge in your life. And as you meet it, and ask for help, you do what you can to solve it. And maybe you don't even have enough gifts to solve it, but you do the best you can. Then the divine or the supreme consciousness steps in. This is something we have to test it out. We have to try it for ourselves. Vision. And then surrender. And surrender doesn't come until you see there is a need for it, because you have a vision and you have tried yourself to fulfill that vision, no matter how grand it is. But you'll see there's just problem after problem. What to do? Oh. higher intelligence. I need help. It's like we're a little baby and we need help from our parents. I know, my parents know, can help me. Or like a great being that can help you. I have this vision. And then you see, I can't do it on my own. I don't know how to meet this challenge. I don't know how to solve these problems. That's when we're ready for surrender. And that's the gold mine. And each and every one of us carries that. No one has it more than anybody else. So you can stop being a seeker outside. Look inside. That is where the gold is. That is where the whole biggest win of the whole universe is right there. So we're going to go into a meditation that will help you to move inside deeper. So if you already are connected to this presence, you can now go deeper. And you can co-create with your vision of what you would like. You know, you need a vision. What do you want? What will bring you joy? What will bring this world a joy? You keep that vision. And then allow that supreme consciousness inside you, your personal connection to that divine, allow to receive help by surrendering into that. That's what we do on this Tuesday evenings. And I think we're about right time to go into the meditations. So we're going to do a Vipassana meditation first. And then after that, we'll do the Supreme Light meditation. You can close your eyes now. And just relax into the body. Whatever is happening inside you now, whatever is going on inside you right now, just feel the feet touching the floor. Relax your feet. Experience your legs. Relax your legs as much as you can. Just relax your buttocks, your hips, your pelvic region. Relax. Your back and spine. Relax. Your stomach. Your whole belly. Relax. Your chest, shoulders, relax. Your arms and hands and fingers, relax. Your neck and throat, relax. Your whole head and your face. Relax. Relax. See how the breathing is moving in and out by itself. You don't have to change your breathing. Just allow the body to breathe the way it wants to breathe. You are now just with your eyes closed, having the body still, allowing the body to breathe the way it wants to breathe. What you're doing now is a simple meditation called a Vipassana meditation. This is something you could do every day. Just sit still in a sacred place somewhere in your home and allow yourself to be the way you are. No change needed. You don't need to be anything particular. See, a Vipassana is just meeting the moment in the body the way you are right now, allowing the body to be the way it is. It's our constant need for change that is creating the problems. Allow the body to be the way it is. Things will change on its own. Just let go. And you can put a focus inside your heart, in the heart region. It's easiest when we have a little focus in the heart to connect into that supreme consciousness inside, our personal connection to the divine or our higher sacred self. However we each relate to that presence, it's personal to each and every one. Connect to it in your own way. And now you can speak to your divine, you can relate to your divine, you can make it real for you, however that shows up for you. And you can share your vision. You as a unique individual, you have some vision, you have something that you are having such passion for, you're longing for. You can just share that vision and you can see it as if it's already happened. And you go into gratitude saying, thank you for giving that to me, thank you. And you don't need to do anything more than that. You just share your vision. And then you can physically hold on to your heart, or if you have a sacred object there, you can put your hands there and just relax. Relax. That's what a Vipassana does. It helps you to relax. And if the mind is very busy inside, allow for that. Don't resist it. That's what your mind, the busy monkey mind, is doing. Sometimes it's just scattering here and there. Just allow for it to do that if it's doing that. There is something greater, grander. Learn to connect into it and not resist whatever is happening inside you. For the first few minutes, you'll be listening to some birds. And just be in the relationship to your divine, where you can be free to be yourself. No change needed. Just be yourself. There is no part of your divine that is judging anything about you. There is a wondrous space inside you for grace to connect into every part of your being, every part of your body. Allow that to intervene into your body, mind, and consciousness as you listen to the birds. And after the birds stop singing, you will hear some music. At that time, Purushottama Paramatma. Shri Bhagavati Sameta. Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Purushottam